You ever wake up and find a whole RV parked smack on your land like it rolled in with the morning fog and decided to settle down rent-free? Yeah, I know. Sounds like the setup for a bad joke or some kind of sitcom. But trust me, when it happened to me, there was nothing funny about it, except maybe how fast I went from sipping my coffee to squinting at a man in a beige windbreaker like I was in a fever dream. That's how my week started, and let me tell you, it was only downhill and then uphill from there. So picture this, it's sunrise. I'm sitting on the hood of my old hatchback, coffee in hand, watching the world warm up. And here comes this RV all shiny and smug, crawling up behind a white pickup. It does a little half circle and my gravel parks itself, like it owns the ridge, and out hops a guy, gives me a nod like I'm his valet. No apology, not even a sorry to drop in. Just sets up, signs a clipboard from Windbreaker Man, and takes off like this was just another Tuesday. I'm standing there, sleep still in my eyes, muttering, "This spot's reserved and not for you, Windbreaker." But Garrick, as I'd come to know him, just flashes this cold little smile and tells me, "Per the association's reallocation, your vehicle's evicted for non-compliance. You're reassigned to overflow lots south of the pond." "Buddy," I said, "this is my land, not a communal playground, and my deed doesn't come with any HOA fine print." He tells me dead serious that my parcel's been annexed, new management board voted, welcome to Majestic Ridge Community Association, shows me a paper with my name spelled wrong and a parcel number that's not even mine. The logo looks like it belongs on a soap ad. I laugh, I really do, but he's not joking. He says, "Your vehicle's a violation. We fixed that by reassigning it." My voice gets real calm, the kind of calm that means a storm's coming. "Where's my car supposed to go?" "Overflow lot," he says, like he's the king of the mountain. "Where's my driveway supposed to go?" He folds up the paper, smiles, like we just closed a business deal, and leaves the RV sitting on my gravel front stoop, crooked windows blank and judging. Now, I'm not new to weird neighbor drama, but this was Olympic level. I call my buddy Micah, part-time surveyor, full-time cynic, and he tells me, "Don't touch a thing. Document everything. They'll claim you damaged their stuff." Next call is to Rosa, the toughest property attorney I know, voice sharp as a tack brain, faster than caffeine. She says, "Go down to the county, pull every document tied to your parcel in the last 6 months, call me back. And whatever you do, don't say another word to those folks." Neighbor Tana shows up, honey jar in hand, stops dead when she sees the RV, says the association's been pestering her too. She offers up trail cam footage, and we walk the property pins together. Micah shows up with his gear, looks like he's about to beam up to the mothership, and we start measuring. Garrick returns this time with Miss Vellum, a woman who looks like she was born holding official documents. She says you can't obstruct association contractors. I ask if they plan on keeping the RV here. She talks about community needs and administrative corrections, but I'm already snapping photos for the record. Down at the county building, the clerk recognizes me, helps me pull files. Turns out the association tried to record their annexation 3 times and got rejected every time. No valid lien, no proper notice, just wishful thinking dressed up in legalese. I buy copies, send scans to Rosa. She's already on her way to court for an emergency restraining order. That evening, I set up trail cams, document every inch because paper only stops honest people. At dusk, a tow truck shows up, drivers all biceps and attitude. He's got an order from the HOA to tow my hatchback. I tell him, "You got police orders. My car's operable. I'm standing right here. You touch it, you're on camera." He studies the situation, says, "This don't smell right." Sits in his truck, eats a sandwich, then leaves. Bless that man. Next day, Rosa emails, "Judge signed the order. HOA is barred from touching my land, moving my stuff, placing any more assets. Sheriff's coming by to post it." I sleep in my car that night anyway because a piece of paper doesn't stop folks who think the law is just a suggestion. At 2 a.m., headlights cut through the trees. 2 people at the fence talking about compliance, plausible whatever. They don't cross onto my land, maybe thanks to my trail cams blinking red in the dark. I thank the owls for minding their own business. In the morning, Tana brings honey rolls. Deputy Ruiz arrives to post the order. Polite, thorough, And he double-checks the property lines with my deed and Micah's survey flags. No easement from the association road. They'd have to trespass. He zip-ties the order to a stake by the RV's hitch. You call dispatch if they move so much as a blade of grass. The next week is a circus. The HOA sends me a new bill claiming I owe for community services. Their security patrol is just a guy in a vest who never leaves the main road. Their road maintenance is a sandwich board by a pothole. I send a demand letter, move your RV, stop billing me, pay for days. You squatted on my land. 5 days, or I see you in court. Meanwhile, Micah and I inspect the so-called overflow lot, a scar on the hillside, no permit silt running straight into the pond, into the creek, into folks' water supply. I record everything, narrate for the county code guy who nods grimly and clicks his pen. The HOA responds with a community moratorium, says global emergencies require them to park on high ground. I laugh so hard I almost spill my coffee. Rosa files for an injunction hearing set for Wednesday. The night before, I catch 2 silhouettes trying to pry at the RV's hitch. I flip on the porch light, yell out, and they scatter like raccoons caught in a dumpster. Deputy Ruiz shows up, writes up a report, calls it a violation of the order. Court day comes. Rosa's in command, lays out the facts. HOA's lawyer waves newsletters, talks optics and community needs. The judge isn't having it. Are you claiming the petitioner is your tenant, she asks. No, Your Honor. Then tell me where you get the authority to move their car. He can't. Judge grants the injunction, orders the RV off my land, restoration at their cost, damages to be decided later. She tells the HOA to review what annexation actually means, consent and recording both missing here. Jess. The hauler arrives with her truck checks. The crooked RV shakes her head at the damage done by someone's midnight crowbar. Moves it off my pad like it was never there. Garrick and Miss Vellum watch from the road, faces pale as biscuit dough. I get my land back, but that's not the end. HOA sends me a bill for relocation expenses. I send them a cease and desist. Then Tana's bees start dying. Fine dust on the hives, likely from a landscaping spray downhill. HOA won't give her a real safety sheet, just a pamphlet with a smiling dog. She calls the county, gets samples, tested boxes, up bees like evidence. Meanwhile, my driveway bears a new scar where the RV sat. I send a second demand letter for repairs. HOA replies with a notice for a community compliance committee. I reply that their committee holds no power over me, copy the state attorney general, the county, even my coffee mug for good measure. Letters keep coming. I keep filing. Rosa smiles. She's seen worse. One day, a guy named Lynn shows up, says he bought an RV spot for his mother. Turns out it's my driveway. The association sold him a lie. Lots of space, just not their space, I tell him. He laughs, shakes his head, walks off a little wiser. The story spreads. The couple downhill June and Roland return to find their land bulldozed by the HOA's expansion. Their fence is 6 feet off. Brody's fence got moved at night. Elise is told to paint her grandfather's shed. Never mind, it was built when dirt was the only earth tone. Folks start showing up with letters, glossy brochures, evidence. We build a case. Rosa files for declaratory judgment, slaps back for attempted silencing. County code slaps a stop work order on the overflow lot. They dug too deep. No permit silt in the pond. Tana's bee samples show residue from a product not meant for waterways, not illegal, just reckless. State issues a fine orders training. The judge sanctions the HOA for the midnight stunt, warns future violations mean contempt. Partial summary judgment. No authority to assess me, Taumie Place structures. HOA's claims wilt. At mediation they cave. Pay my costs, repair damage, refund folks like Lynn Fix, June, and Rollins Fence, send a letter saying my land was never under their rules. Permanent injunction recorded. When it's all over, I buy fresh gravel, set 2 big granite boulders at the corners, punctuation marks, end of sentence. The HOA's reign of paper tigers is over resignations, fines, refunds, repairs. I tape the last check paid with delight inside my shed as a trophy. Here's the thing, moral ownership isn't a mood, it's a record. If someone tries to replace your record with their feelings, show them the fence. If they call your driveway overflow park, under your tree and stay. So let me ask you, where do you draw the line between community and control? Drop your stories below. Let's talk about real justice. And if you've ever faced an HOA that thought the law was just another suggestion, I want to hear about it. Stay sharp, friends.